I never thought we'd see the day. I never thought we would. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wigan Athletic career mode. It's very nice to be back. We're going to get through sort of everything that you need to know. Just a bit of a refresher, a bit of a reminder of where we are. And yeah, let's try and rebuild Wigan Athletic. So I thought we'd do like a bit of a refresher thing before I just start like skipping through the season. But we are in season 6 and currently 12th place halfway through it with 24 points. There's not much like point differentiate between us and the European spot. I do remember that we are still in the Europa League, and in fact we are top of the Europa League table. Pretty, to be fair, it's still very close. We could easily still drop out of it. These league tables are close, but hopefully we'll make it through there. We're probably going to need it if we want to make Champions League football. As for the FA Cup, obviously we haven't played that yet. The first game is in January. And then Carabao Cup, we got knocked out in round 4 against Wolves. So that's where we are at the minute. We're going to go through the team. Let's go ahead and look at the team real quick. And this is what we're looking at the minute for the team. Ferry in net. We've got Adramola, Costas, Hughes and Reece James as the back 4. Ali, Kajustain, Devine in the middle. And then Ramazani, Kumas and Ndaye completing that top 3. On the bench, Civic, Edwards, Hobbs, Armstrong, Gelhart. Also, some updated game faces or pictures. Civic and Thomas. Thomas never had one, and now he does, which is quite cool. Yeah, so we've got Thomas there. We've got Van Dijk here, who's only here on loan, and then we've got Joseph and Lowe. Lowe's here on loan, only played like 5 games due to injuries. And then as for the reserves, it's full of academy players. You've also got like Keanu Dyer here, who I think's on his way out. Navarro, who's here on loan. And Kroll, who we did just sign this season, and he's been a bit naff. Or was it last season we got him? But either way, we're going to simulate to the end of this season. I think just scrap this season off. Try the best in Europe, of course. And yeah, let's see what happens. The season ends there in the Premier League. We have one more game to go. But realistically, that game does not really make that much of a difference. Another disappointing season, if I do say so myself. City taking another league title. They've won so many in this career mode, it's ridiculous. It's nice to see a team like Ipswich doing very well though. But here we are, back in 14th. Again, I believe we have finished 14th before. We have actually finished lower than that as well. We've survived relegation pretty swimmingly, but it just seems to be no ambition there. There is one thing I want to surprise you about, and that is the fact that we have made the Europa League final. And we are playing up against Roma, who have quite an insane team by the looks of it. But our journey here was not easy in the slightest. Beating Genk 5-3 on aggregate in the semis. Quarterfinals, we played Frankfurt and beat them 4-3. Which means, what, we were 3-1 down, I think? Or 3-0 down or something in that first leg? That is mental. Brilliant comeback there. And then as for the round of 16, we beat Augsburg 3-1, 0-0 in that second leg, but we'll beat them either way, and it's got us to the final, which is incredible work. As for the Carabao Cup, Arsenal have taken that, and the FA Cup, wow, Brighton taking it. Did we come anywhere near? Did we even, I mean, at this point, did we even play? Oh yes, Coventry beating us 3-1 is pretty embarrassing, but yeah, let's go ahead and play the Europa League final. What a moment this is then, and what a tifo that is. Welcome to the Europa League final. We're playing in Stuttgart up against the Italian giants, AS Roma. What a game this is bound to be. What an absolutely fab ball through from Alfie Devine. You're 7 minutes into a game and we've just took the lead here. What an absolutely delicious ball this is. Look at the little dink in the pass there. And Ndaye looked like he was in an offside position, so I'm kind of happy he didn't end up winning the ball there. But Ramazani gets onto it and does indeed score. Don't know what we're doing defensively here. Ramazani, the guy who helped us score, has just basically conceded for us. 50 minutes into the game and Pellegrini brings one back. The skipper for Roma They're not done there. They're putting up a good fight here. I don't know what... I'm spamming all the buttons I can there and just nothing's being done about it. Nothing's being cleared. Unfortunately, as you can see, Ramazani does indeed go down there. I try and get revenge by half in the player after, but... he's been massively involved in this game. Scores, basically gives a goal away, and now has to be stretched out off the pitch, and he is out injured, most likely for a lot of next season as well. Devine's going to end up taking them on in extra time. Yeah, Joseph comes off the bench to score just before the half in extra time. It's an absolutely amazing moment here. Is that the goal that is going to win us this European trophy? The very first one for Wigan in their entire history. Is it going to be that one? Look at the flags going as well, by the way. Love that one with the England flag on. We'll love to see that. And it's Devine again setting everything up. This guy is going to be a future hero at this club, almost guaranteed. But I love how Joseph still gets heavily involved, even though, you know, the rating's low, and he's a bit worse than a Dyer, I would say. It doesn't really matter though. That goal just completely gets cancelled out by this absolute beauty. What a ball in from Lafay, who is now a Sunderland player in real life, by the way. So I've just let a Mackham do that against us. Roma absolutely on, going down without a fight. I mean, we expected a tough game going into this. They're one of the better teams in Europe. But yeah, but just needed to hold on 10 minutes. There was literally 10 minutes left. 10 minutes, Reece James sleeping there on Louise Gilmore, I think that's how you say his name. But yeah, the skipper's going to step up for our first penalty. Bury it top right. Is he a good penalty taker? I'm not even that sure, you know. I don't know if Reece James takes penalties for Chelsea, or used to, obviously, before Palmer went there. I'm not quite sure. I know he's great at free kicks and crossing the ball, but with skipper and Jaya, lovely goal there, by the way. Puts us 2-1 up on penalties. Lovely finish again. The penalties have been sweet. Lovely, tucked away in the corners. It's now up to the Welshman. The former Scouser. Oh dear. Oh dear. He's missed. Up to Louise Gilmore. And it's a beautiful save from Ferry. We're stuck at 2-2 then. Ali, a chance to put us in front. Oh shit. He's put it down the middle. Oh dear. And Roma take the lead 3-2. We've missed 2 in a row. I'm getting England flashbacks here, watching this back. It's now Devine, the future hero of this club. The keeper could have just put a hand out there or something. Gets it to 3-3. We need a save here from Ferry. Illich steps up and he scores. It's 4-3 to Roma, and unfortunately we're going to miss out on the Europa League. What a final. What a game. But what an absolutely horrible moment, even just watching this back, that is. But, and it's the Mackham. Oh, God. It just, bleach my eyes, will you? It's Enzo Lafay lifting the trophy. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try our best. We'll work with socks off that game. We're a much better team. If I were to bring up the stats, you'd realise. Much better side, but Roma take the trophy. 6 comes to an end then. Big shame about that Europa League final. We did try our very best. The penalties were pretty shocking though. I think we need some good penalty takers in this team personally, but let's go for everyone's stats then for the season. I mean, Ferry's made a bit of a difference there. I just feel like the defenders aren't strong enough and good enough. I feel like he needs a good set of defenders in front of him. Look at 12 clean sheets in the season, it's not bad at all, so it's not him the reason why we're conceding so many goals. It's got to be the defenders. As we're going down the list, Sibic actually played quite a bit more than what I was expecting there this season. Good backup forward. Costas obviously had that injury near the start. That's why he's got less appearances than these two here. Nasiala's done alright on loan, I suppose. Probably a player we can sort of send off next season, try and get rid of some of the deadwood. Reece James, obviously the new captain of the team, taking the armband from Devine. We've done alright second half of the season for him. He only had 1 assist in January, and now he's ended the season with 2 and 2, so he's definitely had a better second half to the season. But he's 30 now, you know, we've got to start thinking about building ourselves up, and obviously we've missed out completely on European football, which is a shame for next season. Kajuste, brilliant player. Ali, future of that midfield, he's been incredible this season. Harrison Armstrong, still only 23. He's still just a young lad. It feels like he's been here for absolutely ages. Gelhardt, now I do need to announce he is joining Bournemouth. I did sell him after the January window. We sold him for 10 million and he's worth 9, so I don't think that's too bad. He wasn't happy. You can see the play time with the thumbs down there. He just wasn't happy at all. It was very difficult to get Gelhardt into the team, so that's a bit of a shame there, unfortunately. Alfie Devine, obviously, like, main man of this team. Best player on the pitch at all times, really. 5 goals, 12 assists, amazing. Hobbs, brilliant job when he's come in and stepped up there, and he's only 21. We've got a really good young core. Silko Thomas, I do think it's time for him to leave now. He would have been at Wigan, like 8 years or something like that. Like, he's been out for absolutely ages. I think it was, well, he must have been, 18, 19 when we started the career mode. So, yeah, what a run it's been for him, but I think his time's done. Ramazani, brilliant, well worth the money, what was spent in him. But unfortunately, he did come down with quite a hefty injury. He's out for 2 months, which obviously it's the end of the season, so it doesn't really matter. But played the vast majority of the games, 19 goals, 3 assists, can't go wrong there. Still has 2 years left on his deal as well, so that's not too bad. Kumas, not a horrendous season. Woodhouse doing very well, just wish he got played more. Obviously, having Van Dijk in the team, these two are going to get less game time. Whether I buy Van Dijk permanently, I don't know. As you can see, he's been very good, but the price is going to be quite hefty. You're looking at over 20 million, so I'm not too sure if we're going to be paying that. We'll try and work around it. Kyle Joseph, another player I believe could possibly be on his way out. It's between sticking with him and Lowe as we're back up for next season, and as you can see, the stats are a bit mixed. I know Joseph has 3 more goals, has also played more. Nathan Lowe didn't play that much because of injuries, really. So I'm not too sure, but I do think Ndiaye keeps that spot as the striker for the season. 24 goal contributions and 53 is not bad at all. So I think we're keeping Ndiaye for another season. Navarro's just going to go back to PSG, I believe. And then as for these, we're just going to keep trying to develop players. But yeah, we've got high ambitions, definitely, but we need to make the right decisions. 7, here we go, by far the longest career mode I've been a part of. But here we go. Without further ado, let's get into who we're selling and who we're trying to bring in. Silko Thomas, after, I mean, at this point, it feels like nearly a decade at the club. He's finally going to be leaving us this summer. Harrison Armstrong, I know he's still just a young kid, but I think after the previous season we've just had with him, he's on his way out. Ronnie Edwards is going. I'm trying to plan on sort of revamping the defence this season, so off you pop. We've got Jane Dunn going, Max Collins, Colin Clark, Hartley, Dyer, Richards, LeBlond, Schmidt, and then just a few little loans there for some of the academy players. Wow. I've just sat here for the past hour and a half getting business done in this summer transfer window. Let's talk about it. So much has happened. We've done this for a lot of seasons now where we just do a lot in the summer and just it's like a free-for-all during the season. But I've thoroughly knuckled down, thought about the signings, we've changed the formation, we've changed tactics, and hopefully it all goes swimmingly. So, let's start off. Ginwelu Beloncina. I've absolutely butchered that, but new centre-back from Forest. He's been on the shortlist for, I think, just the whole of last season, and we've been watching him. He's developed pretty well for us. 20.9 million, pretty pricey, considering the board only gave us 57 million this season. I know, not great. We then got Umberto Mancini in here. I could not turn this guy down. 77 overall at 21. So much potential there. Look at the stats already. We've signed, I think, 5-year contracts to both of these. 14.7 million he cost us. This is... I'm looking at the wrong bloody thing here. That's what I'm doing. Right. Harrison Armstrong to Burnley, 8.4 million. I did say he's going to be leaving this season, and he has done just that. We've got a few players going out on loan there. We've got Ronnie Edwards to Brighton for 12.5. I was expecting a bit more from him, but the negotiations just weren't really going that well. A new left back, which I wasn't actually planning on getting rid of Adaramola, but this Jeffete has been on my list for quite a while now. He was at a different team. I put him on my list, then Chelsea bought him. And I was like, well, I can't go in from now. So I just waited until he sort of wore down a bit at Chelsea, and now we've picked him up for 16.4 million. He's 26, 79 overall. So he's already 2 ratings higher than Adramola at the same age, I'm pretty certain. So yeah, Adramola's going to be a backup this season. We're not selling him. Another loan there. I know it's very sad, and I know I've sold him a bloody Scumderland, but yeah, Silko Thomas to Sunderland, 2.5 million. That's the most you're going to be getting for him. Another 2 loans there. We've got Jaden Dunn leaving us for $1 million. And then we brought a player in, Paco Cortez. This is a real player by the looks of it. It isn't a randomly generated one, but from Nice on loan, we have got an option to buy of 20 million. I know, the option to buy is expensive. Reason behind getting them in, even though Ramazani was like the second top scorer last season, Ramazani, I didn't realise, but he's going to be 30 this season. Ramazani's aging. And I wanted to bring someone in who can compete in that position and potentially be the next Ramazani. So hopefully we've found him. Paco Cortez joins us on loan. I was looking at the midfield. It looked a bit worse for wear on the bench. So Keane Brecken, I've never heard of him, but he joins us from Manchester City for 7.3 million. Just a bit of a bench option. And then, well, this happened. Iliman Jaye, the player I was planning on keeping, because I have no issues with him at all. He has a release clause of 40 million, and I didn't sort of renew that and make it higher, considering his value's going up quite a bit. So yeah, we've let him go to our championship rivals when we were there, Leeds. I remember the games against Leeds and they were brilliant. So yeah, Njaya to Leeds for 40 million. The release clause has been paid. I'm going to miss him, absolutely. Loads of memories. I think he got a famous quadruple against Palace a few seasons ago. I seem to remember that. Brilliant player. Put his heart and soul into this club. But yeah, it's time to shift. So I had to replace him, obviously. And we got this guy. I was looking at the list of strikers. Couldn't really say anyone. Then Jakar Kubert Potoknik has joined us from Cologne for 8 million. Now, I know it seems a lot worse than what Ndiaye is, but you've got to think he's 5 years younger. He's 76 overall already. There is quite a lot of potential behind this kid. We're just going to give it a go with him up top, and Kyle Joseph as well, obviously. And then the last 2 deals are just little deals there for a few million. It's going to be set out this season. We've changed the formation where we actually are playing proper 2 DMs this season. Kajustin and Ali played very well last season, playing out of position. Can you imagine them this season playing in position? I know. Devine just above them, obviously. He is just scanning and patrolling that midfield himself, basically, up there. Your back line, we've got Jeff Tay goes straight in. Belkoscini goes straight in. Costas in. James in, of course, with our captain on. We've got Ferry and Net. Then your front 3, Cortez, Mancini, and Xhaka. Literally a new front 3, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. On the bench, you've got Sibic, who we've renewed a contract with as well. He's going to be here for another season. We've got Hughes. Adramola is just going to be the backup left back and right back. You got Brecken and Hobbs as your midfielder. I probably do need another one in there. But then you've got Woodhouse, Kumas and Ramazani on the bench. And then Joseph being the striker, of course. Ramazani and Cortez will just be in and out between each other all season. Unless one of them is like absolutely clear. Like if Cortez scores like 5 a game, he's obviously staying in. But yeah, that's how the team's looking. Let's see how we get on first half of the season. Wow, we have absolutely shocked the league. I can't believe it myself. We are 4th after 19 games, 10 wins, 5 draws and only 4 losses. 47 goals have been scored, which has me thinking our striker may be racking them in. 29 against still, that is a lot. We've got a very leaky defence still. It might actually be the goalkeeper at this point. But 35 points with 3 off Newcastle, who are top of the league. Where's Liverpool? You are shitting me. Liverpool and Arsenal, massive fall off. Spurs are obviously, I expect that. Wow. Liverpool and Arsenal, mass fall offs. That is mental right there. What we're going to do is have a look at the stats. I never usually do this halfway through the season, but I'm really intrigued to see how we've scored this many goals. Kroll getting some game time there. Interesting. Yeah, Ferry's only had 3 clean sheets, which isn't ideal. We need more. Adramola's played a lot, which is good. Jeff here doesn't seem to be doing much there. Oh dear. Adaramola has a higher average rating as well. That's a bit disappointing right there. He has still played more. Sibic getting some game time. We'll love to see it. We've got a goal there from the new centre-back. Same with Hughes. Lovely. And Hughes is getting a lot of game time. Wow. And the average rating's good. Fair dues to him. Fair dues. No rating's going up there. Wow, Reece James. What a season he's having. 4 goals, 3 assists. Even better than last season already. Could you stay 4 assists? Key player right there. Ali, I expect a bit more from him there. Average rating in the cup though, 7. But must still be in the Carabao Cup if that's the case. Keane's played quite a few games to be fair to him. 1 assist in the Prem. He's went up a rating as well. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. That is already better than last season and we're only halfway through this one. 6 and 17. 23 goal contributions and 26 for R.I.P Divine. What a divine player. I'll never say that again. Oh shit, wow. Paco Cortez, 14 goals, 1 assist. Guy's just banging the goals in. He doesn't care about passing the ball. He's banging them in. Ramazani only playing 9 games there. He's went up 2 ratings somehow. He's doing alright. I don't know how he's went up 2. That's a bit mad. Good growth on Owen Davey there out on loan. That's good to see. Kumas only played 8 times, but 6 goals, 2 assists in them games. Woodhouse, no appearances so far. Mancini, that's pretty solid. 11 goal contributions. And as you can see, the 2 strikers, but mostly we're going to have a look at Xhaka here. 20 games, 15 goals and 8 assists. He's what, 2nd in assists in the whole team? Wow, that's amazing. Average rating of above 8 in the Premier League, which is very rare. Kyle Joseph only played once in the Prem, but has been key in the Cup by the looks of things. Got 2 goals there as well. Wow, I couldn't have asked for much more from this striker, to be honest with you. Value at 10 million. Okay, I mean we're paid what, 7 or 8 million, so it's good to see the value going up. He's done very well. You can see where the goals have come in then. Him, Cortez getting 14. Divine must be assisting at every single goal by the looks of it. And I have, best believe, I've simulated every single game here. That is crazy. 17 assists already. This is absolutely massive. This is huge, and I just feel like I had to do it for my teammates meeting up once again for Kyle Tomori is joining us. Look, we've had such a good half a season and I feel like we just need to solidify on that. We need to back up ourselves on that and make sure that we don't sort of fall off in the second half of the season. For Kyle Tomori is joining us from Wolves. He is 33 years old on this, but you know, I feel like it's worth it. I do feel like it's worth it. He's going to play alongside Reece James, which he did at Chelsea. I could be wrong, Jan, but I'm pretty certain they won the Champions League together. Or did Tomori leave by that point? I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I'm pretty certain them two won the Champions League together. If not, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, he goes in. He'll most likely be taken over Costas' position, and as you can see, we've completed a board objective, signed 1 crucial first team player, assigned to the defender position, so that is done and dusted. I did try and go in for Simican, as you can see there, and that just completely fell through. So if we go to send offers, then go to Tomori. He's ended up costing us 35 million with a 10% sell-on clause. He's got a 3-year contract. 150 grand a week is quite a lot. I'm pretty certain that may put him as the highest paid player on the team, but 87 overall, even if it is just for 2 or 3 seasons, he might be able to be the player who gets us over the line and hopefully win some of them big trophies. Alright then, just a few little pieces of business in January then. Thomas Cartwright joins us from Sheffield Wednesday for 2.8 million, which is really not bad at all. He's a right back. Mainly he's going to be the backup to Reece James. Reece James obviously has his injury issues, and I haven't been playing Adaramola there. He's been doing fine, but I feel like we just need a proper right back, so he comes in. Edwards Woodhouse, finally, I think this is going to be a permanent leave. He's went out to Galatasaray on loan with an option to buy for like 2.4 million. I would expect them to pay that. I'm not 100%, but I do think it's his way out. He's been a brilliant player forward coming up through the academy, but just unfortunately, that rating just has not went up. No matter how well I have this guy playing, no matter how many goals or assists he gets, sometimes he's been in double digits in both things in a season, that rating just ain't going up, so it's probably his time. And then, of course, the big one, the big blockbuster transfer from Wolves for Kyle Tomori for 35 million. It's such a risky financial decision, but I took that risk with Reece James, and let's just hope this all works out. What an absolutely historic season this has been for Wigan Athletic. Their best season ever in the history of this club. And one of the best Premier League seasons we've probably ever seen, to be fair to them. As you can see, Chelsea won the league over us. They did have a game in hand, and we also played them very close to the end of the season, and they did batter us 4-1. So that probably didn't help, but we were not that far off from winning. Obviously, you see the 9 losses there, and Chelsea only losing 2. It's going to take a lot to get past them. I'll tell you what, though, we made Wolves a lot worse. When we bought Tomori, Wolves were second in the league, and they dropped down to 5th. Tomori must have been quite an important player for them. And as you can tell, an important player for us as well. We went from 4th to 2nd from January, which is incredible. What a jump that is. Also, 93 goals have been scored. I am absolutely excited to see who has got all these goals. If the new lad were brought in up top as being banging them in, I'm not too sure. 53 against is still quite rough for second place in the league. You want to be around that 30-odd goal mark where Chelsea are, so a lot of work to do in the summer, I would imagine, from that. But 21 wins, 8 draws, 9 losses, 93 goals scored, 71 points. It's not bad. And we're going to be in the Champions League, which is very exciting. Chelsea look like they're just doing it all. They've won and won the FA Cup as well. I believe we got to round 5. Wolves beating us in round 5. We had just beat them in the league, and then literally the game after that was against them in the FA Cup. So they got a bit revenge there by knocking us out. As for the Carabao Cup, Chelsea winning that. Bloody hell, they're going for absolutely everything. That is a treble right there. I wonder if they've won and won the Champions League potentially. And we lost to Southampton in the quarterfinals there. Okay, they're not in the Champions League final. I don't know if they're even in the Champions League to begin with. They got knocked out by Real Madrid in the round of 16, but still 3 trophies for them this season. That is mental. Alright then, it's time for the exciting part, the stats, and I can already see Ferry with only 7 clean sheets in the league. It's not awful, but for second place, I'm expecting, trying to battle for that golden glove. So I'm pretty disappointed with that overall. We haven't really got a goalkeeper that's up and coming. We do have Krall there, but he's 31. We don't really have a good up and coming goalkeeper, so that is very slightly worrying. Adaramola obviously got knocked out of his starting position for Jeff Day this season. Not much from either of them. In fact, Adaramola actually got more clean sheets than Jeff Day, even in the Premier League. So bit of an interesting one there. Bloody hell, Tomori scoring 5 goals. I don't know if all of them are for Wolves or if all of them for me, but 5 goals regardless is really good. 12 clean sheets in there, 10 in the league, so doesn't look too bad. Obviously, a lot of that could just be for Wolves, or it could just be overreacting. He has also went down a rating. Civic, probably on his way out next season. Obviously, we gave him that extension this season, but he only got 2 games in. Belsian has been an interesting one. I think he's been quite solid. Is he as good as Costas? It's up for debate. I think these two are very similar. I mean, they're both 81 overall. They both play centre-back and left-back. One of them's 26, one of them's 28. It's very difficult to tell them apart, really. But I have just been playing him with Tomori, and it seems to have worked out pretty fine. Hughes, I think, for a backup playing, as you can say, pretty much half of the games is really good. Nasilla and Fry didn't get any game time this season. Wow, Reece James, what a season that is for him. 8 goals, 5 assists. We'll absolutely take that. 8 goals in the Prem. Pretty fucking solid, that. Thomas Cartwright come in and played quite a few games there. Got 11 appearances. Not bad, not bad. Could you stay? 4 assists. I like it. Well, that could you stay is going to be out for that much longer. I'm not too sure. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Worth 10 million. I reckon we could probably cash him in the summer. Ali, not too impressive this season personally. For me, he just seems like he hasn't done that much. I feel like we could put a better player in there. So potentially 2 new DMs come next season. Anderson's leaving the club at the end of his contract. And Cian Brecken come in this season. Doesn't look like he done that bad. He did fill in for Cajuste when he was injured. He's actually ended up playing more games than Cajuste overall. Holy shit. That is 26 assists in the league. Hold on. That could be a record. I think that may have broken Kevin De Bruyne's record. That is... wow. Holy shit. Bloody hell. I cannot believe that. I believe it has. I've just searched up here. I believe it has. It smashed the record. Kevin De Bruyne with 20 assists in 2019-2020 season. Holy fuck. Alfie Devine, ladies and gentlemen, has just broke a record for the most assists in a Premier League season. 31 in all competitions. What on earth? On top of that, 11 goals. The skipper, what a bowler, honestly. Hobbs, pretty solid season for not that much game time. Cortez has come in, done a brilliant job on that left-hand side. 20 goals in the Prem. Whether I want to buy him, I'm not sure. I mean, the price is alright for the player you're getting there, so we may think about making that permanent. Ramazani, probably on his way out. Only got that year left on his deal. May as well cash him in if we can. Try and get a younger winger. You've got Owen Davey coming up. You've got quite a few young ones coming up. Lewis Kumas, 14 goal contributions in 14 games is not bad. Obviously, he's going to be complaining about not having a lot of game time, but Frost, 3 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. We'll take that. Not too bad. Mancini, who joined us this season, it's not a bad season at all. 18 goal contributions in 33. And that's where your goals are. Holy shit. Xhaka Cubar Potonic, I think that's how you say his name. He played 40 games, 38 in the Premier League. He played every game. 32 goals, 11 assists, 30 in the league with 10 assists in there. 40 goal contributions in 38 games. That may have broken most goal contributions in a season. I'm not sure. I believe it might be like even Shearer or Salah have more than that. Maybe it's just by a few, but what a fucking debut season. I was really regretting getting rid of Ndiaye. I was like, this is risky, but wow. And the fact that he's only won a 1 rating baffles me. Joseph only playing 8 games, but 6 goals in them 8 games. Very well-rounded backup striker there. I'm very pleased with how that went. Here it is then. One of the busiest seasons we've ever had, and it's only just begun. But here we are. We're going for it all. Making the Champions League, of course. Coming second in the Premier League. I think we'll just go for it. Go for everything. Try and just win everything we possibly can this season. And that's what I've done in the first transfer window. So, Paco Cortez joins us permanently, which I didn't realise, but there was an option to buy on him of 21.3 million. Bearing in mind he's worth 27. I had to just go ahead and buy him. He was like our second top scorer or something last season. He was brilliant. So he joins us from Nice. Hugo Machado joins us from Union Berlin for 12 million. A young Brazilian DM. The statistics do not lie right there. 89 strength, looking insane. We also brought in from Cologne Eric Martel for 39.1 million. As you can tell where this is going, we'll have replaced both DMs from last season, Ali and Cajuste. So Eric Martel joins us. He did actually score in pre-season, which is, you know, pretty good. He's not there for the goals, but look at them stats. Samuel Ali does leave us, unfortunately. I just don't really see a future I offer him. He was alright in the seasons that we did have him, and for a completely free signing, you couldn't really go wrong at the time, but 14 million from him. Jeff Day only lasted a season with us, just didn't really do it. Sold him for 19.3. Pretty shameful transfer. We've really struggled with left backs in this career mode. Isaac Taylor leaves us. We've got Roland going out on loan. We've got Hartley going out on loan. Cajuste leaves us to Everton for 12.9 million. Very good player, has had such a good career with us the past few years. You know how well I spoke of him in previous episodes. Yeah, just amazing player. Nies Peters joins us from Manchester United, 22.3 million. Just another midfielder to fit in that bench role. The stats look incredible. He should be very good as a backup. Schmidt leaving on loan. Ramazani leaving to Spurs for 21 million. I'm a bit thinking on putting him in the Premier League. That may come back to bite us in the arse, but yeah, his contract was run out. I wasn't really willing to give a 30-year-old who isn't really going to go up in a rating anymore a new deal, so especially not when his wage is that high. So yeah, off to Spurs. Tom Watson goes on loan. We've got Aidan Rowley going out on loan. Bacon leaving us. We've got Greenwood leaving us to Palace. Jared Brown leaving us. And then someone returning. I know a certain someone watching this right now will be pleased about this. It has took me so long to get Luke Chambers back here, because for some reason the team he's at said he's too important for the team, and I randomly just checked after simulating a few weeks, and he was available at a very costly price though, 19.7 million, when he's only worth 14, so they definitely got their money's worth out of that transfer there. But Luke Chambers, welcome back. Spent so many seasons on loan here. I think I had him like 3 separate times, but he's back for one last time. Let's see if he can get it over the line and help us. So, I mean, that's pretty much how we're going for the season. We've got Ferry and net. We've got Chambers at left back with Belchin and Tamori. Reece James, of course. We've had a lot of offers for Reece James. Some over 70 million. Been very tempted to take it, but I just feel like he's such an important player for us. Martel and Machedo obviously fit into that new partnership in the midfield. Ahead of them, Devine, who just had a historic season last season and is obviously still a skipper. Cortez keeping that left wing spot. We've got Cuba keeping that striker spot. Somehow has not went up in rating from last season, which is crazy. And then Mancini keeping that right wing spot. To the bench then we've got Hughes, Costas, Cartwright and Adramola, the 2 backup fullbacks. Brecken and Peters as the midfielders there. We've got Davey and Frost, 2 youngsters, as the backup wingers. They have a lot of pressure on them this season to do well when they come off the bench. And Joseph still to this day at this club as the backup striker. And then the reserves just kind of filled out with a load of shite, really. Sibic is retiring at the end of this season, so we've got that to look at. Hobbs will get some game time there, and then Kroll, obviously the backup keeper if needs be, and we've still got Tyra as well if for some reason we need a third choice keeper.
Community Shield time it is then, with us finishing second in the league and Chelsea winning fucking everything. We're the only team that can physically play, apart from themselves, obviously. But it was 0-0. It was just an absolute bore the entire match, and we end up going to a penalty shootout here in the Community Shield. Can we win a lovely piece of silverware? Obviously, we've only won like 1 or 2 if you're classing the playoffs in the Championship as a piece of silverware. I mean, I think I would, you know. But Chelsea seem to be struggling here with their penalties, missing that second one. Now it's Reece James. I usually have Reece James taking the first penalty. I did in the Europa League. And you know what it is? He's a very good penalty taker. I think set pieces in general, he's just the guy for the job. Ferry has had his ups and downs when it comes to saving penalties. He's not the best keeper for it. He's not horrendous. Tried his best, saved 1 in the Europa League final at least, but then look at this. Oh my god. And he does it. Ferry winning us the Community Shield. We'll take a piece of silverware at Wembley. We absolutely will. And best believe this should not be the last one. I bloody well hope it isn't. But there you have it. I know it's one of them lower down trophies, but it's still something to be proud of, and it sets us up massively for one of the biggest seasons ever up ahead. Devine, of course, the new skipper, lifting it there. By the way, that guy is like nearly a 90 overall at this point. The guy is absolutely insane. I did say future hero.
My God, took their time indeed. Alfie Devine has just had his very first call up to the England squad ever in the history of his career. The first time this has happened. It somehow didn't happen last season. Bearing in mind, he had like 20 odd assists. But finally, he's been called up. I'm really happy for him. Halfway through this season then, 20 games in, so literally a game over halfway, and we are currently 1 point top of the league. City are just behind us. a bit of a gap between us and Liverpool, and then an even bigger gap between us and Arsenal, who were in at 4th. Obviously, the big aim is to go and win the league this season. City have only lost 1 game. We did lose to City as well. So they're going to be the team to look out for in the second half of the season, definitely. I don't know what are their losses to. I know it's City. I think it's Liverpool as well. So the 2 teams behind us are the only teams to beat us this season. Defensively, we're looking alright. 19 goals scored against. Now, bearing in mind, though, Ferry's still 8th in clean sheets in the league. So I don't know how we're keeping that many clean sheets, or not conceding as many, I should say. But still, 49 goals scored. We're still the top scorers in the league. That's 2 seasons running now, which is great. But yeah, 20 games, 15 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. It's a very good first half of the season. So this is very good stuff. We have ended up coming 7th in the Champions League. 5 wins, 2 draws, and only 1 loss, which come to Monaco, who are top with 0 losses. So I'm very pleased about that. We did concede 10. We did also score 16. It doesn't look that bad. And also, the group format sort of thing is actually, not the group format, the table format is kind of growing on us now. It's took all year round, but yeah, it's kind of growing on us now. Yeah, very good. We've made it automatically through. It'll be very interesting to see who we get in the knockout stages. The January transfer window then, and we've made a massive change in the team. And I know you may not have expected this, but Bremer has joined us from Bayern Munich for 30 million. He's 34 years old. The decline will probably rapidly start towards the end of the season. But I feel like we just need him. I know defensively we haven't looked that bad this season, but going into the knockout stages of the Champions League, I feel like we need a bit of that experience. In this career mode, Juventus won the Champions League with him. Bayern Munich have won the Champions League with him. He's a 2-time Champions League winner, and I feel like we just need that veteran experience, especially in the back line. So Bremer's going to join us, partner up with Tomori and Reece James in that back line. If we don't win everything this season, it could be a bit of an issue, but he signed a 2-year contract, 150 grand a week. Makes him the top paid player in the team. For 30 million, I feel like it's going to be an absolute bargain for him. Joshua Hobbs sold to Ipswich for 12.1 million. Just never hit the ground running with. He scored a few bangers, to be fair, in the past few seasons. But yeah, for someone who come up through the academy, I mean, the rating doesn't look too bad, but with Devine being as good as what he is, I just can't get him into the team. We also got rid of Reggie Lawrence to Cardiff, 4.2 million. We got rid of Morton for 1.6, and then we got Morgan Parsons and Harry Harvey out on loan for the remainder of the season. Well then, everybody, as we get closer to the end of the season, we are now in the final of the FA Cup, up against Arsenal. It's going to be a big one, but let's run it back to where it very first starts for us, over in January. Who did we play to end up getting through? Stevenage, 2-1 win. We'll absolutely take that. A 2-1 win over Blackburn as well. I did have a rotation side in this. I did play a lot of the youngsters. And these are simulated games, by the way. 5-2 against Newcastle. I'm surprised simulating you can even have scorelines like that, but that is a huge game right there. We ended up hammering them. 3-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. We'll take that one. And then a 6-0 against Accrington Stanley. I don't even know how they're getting here. 6-0 is the highest game that I've ever seen simulating. We may have had one of them last season, I believe, maybe. But yeah, 6-0 in the semi-finals. That's at Wembley as well. Would have been a good day out for Accrington Stanley fans, and then they just get absolutely arse-wiped. But now into the final, up against the Asna.
I told you it wouldn't be the last time we're at Wembley. Welcome back. Here we are at Wembley again for the FA Cup final, and it's against a notorious winner of this, but he does not care up top. Potnik, however you say his name, I still don't know how to pronounce it. He just doesn't care. He's just an absolute menace. He's a ridiculous goal scorer, this guy. He does not care about what's in front of him. I'm getting Haaland vibes. I'm getting Isak vibes. This guy's just insane. And Frost, by the way, has become such an important player. The guy's 18 or 19, and he's delivering balls like that through a striker in a final. And that goal there is enough to win us the trophy. We look absolutely over the moon. The players have worked their bloody socks off for this. And of course, it's the new skipper, Devine, lifting that trophy. Look at it. Look at the blue banners. They absolutely deserve it. For the first time since 2012 or 2013 against Manchester City, they've done it. We've now just done it against, I think, the team that's won it the most, maybe by United or Liverpool. Notorious winners in the FA Cup. It's beautiful to see. I would expect the celebrations to look a lot better than this, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, what an amazing trophy to win. Hopefully the first of a lot to come in this season ahead and the season after. But yeah, what a picture that is for Divine. A club icon. Not really what we wanted to see coming out of that final, because it was an amazing game, amazing win, beautiful trophy to win. But Mancini out for 3 months. That's basically him done for the remainder of the season. That is rough.
It all comes down to this, the final game of the Premier League season, and we're playing Liverpool at home, a chance to win Wigan Athletic's first Premier League title in their club's history. And I would imagine this is the closest they've ever gotten to lifting it. Let's go and do it, even if we say lose and City lose. City are playing Newcastle, so it's possible. We have a much better goal difference this season, so let's just pray and hope we can get over the line. Let's do this.
Yeah, we are then. Just get a win. That is all we need. It's at home as well, and we're just going to absolutely storm ahead. It's Potnick into the Youngster Frost. What a moment in this kid's career, man. The FA Cup final to this, to playing well in the Champions League. This guy has took this team and the league by storm. He's been absolutely amazing for her. And is this the goal that is going to win us the Premier League title? Scoring that early on, well, would you look at that? We've only went and done it. This has took 8 to 9 seasons to complete. It has took such a long time to get here. What a rebuild. And we have finally done it. Finally done it. After, what would it be, 6 seasons in the Premier League? What a quick rebuild that is, realistically. We've had a very harsh board, not giving us a lot of money in some seasons where we need it the most. They then believed in us towards the end of this. Last season and this season especially, giving us a lot of funding, and that has massively helped us, of course. But what a career a lot of these young lads have had as well. Divine especially, leaving Spurs to Wigan, which is such a weird thing for him. But then he's actually ended up having a very iconic, amazing career at Wigan. It's just amazing, man. What a trophy.
We made it. We only went and done it. And we've won the FA Cup, the Premier League, and now potentially chance at the biggest trophy in world football.
We're off then, 5 minutes into the game. It already looks like the wacky races. What is going on? And it's Max Frost again for Wigan Athletic. This guy is absolutely insane. And it's Divine with the beautiful delivery so early into a Champions League final. He had the audacity to just smash that from outside the box. He saw the keeper off his line. He saw the space. Look at how the guy moves. Look at the dribbling. He's ridiculous. I wish we could just continue going on in this career and do so many seasons. Plays the ball into Divine. Milan just don't look like they're bothered. They don't look like they care when it comes to defending in a Champions League final. I've never seen anything like it since 2005 against Liverpool. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. What a run that is. To me, it looked like Divine was offside, but you know, we'll let ourselves off. On the hour mark then, Divine's going to bring the ball down here. Sees the back post. What a finish, man. What a fucking finish from our second or first top scorer there. Paco again on the score sheet. What a bargain buy he was, by the way. 20 odd million when his value was close at 30. What a bargain buy that is. And he was actually clear on side there as well. Looks like he could have been going over the bar. Zertsky later on is going to bring one back. Pretty solid free kick. There's not much you can do from that distance. I could have put men on the line, what have you, but it's 3-1. Or Milan potentially going to bring this back now in the depths. No, they're not. 94 minutes into the game, the referee blows the full-time whistle, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a rebuild. What a team. What a story it has been over this past, coming up to close to a year of starting this career mode. we have finally won the biggest trophy in club football, the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League. It's got white and blue banners on it, and it's Divine again lifting a piece of silver with this team. Massive help from the veterans, of course, Tomori, Bremer, Reece James, but wow, the young lads have took this by storm. Frost, Divine, you got Mancini in there. I know he's been injured a lot of this season. Cuba up top, he's been amazing. Joseph's still in this team. The guy's still going. Ferry, even Ali in the 2 seasons he was here, a big help. We've had such a big help from the youngsters, but the veterans definitely, I think they were the sort of like the change in this team that we needed, especially Reece James, being a former Wigan player, of course, coming up through that team. So nice to see Civic there as well, player who's been out from the start. Pretty much I think the only one left from the original Wigan side. What a rebuild. Such an iconic rebuild. This will always go down in our memories, honestly. What a team that is. Look at that. It's not even that stacked when you think about it. Honestly, what a moment. There you go. It's official. And this is even more official. Look at the trophies. We haven't just won one. We've won 3. Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup. Treble winning team. Wow. And I have to go down in history. Build me a statue. Aaron Davies statue outside the community stadium.
And there you just have it. After 8 seasons, the Wigan Athletic career mode comes to an end. It's actually really emotional. I get attached to these career modes, you know. I really do. What a journey it's been. 8 entire seasons. I believe is the longest or second longest. I think Swansea may have been 9. I'm not too sure, but I completed everything before the 9 seasons. I've just done more. With this career mode, it has took me this long to win my first Premier League, first Champions League, what have you. But yeah, we end things with 2 FA Cups, a Premier League and a Champions League after 8 seasons. I mean, that's brilliant. It's absolutely amazing the way the teams come along. As for the Community Shields, obviously we beat Chelsea on penalties. We've technically done a quadruple in a way. FA Cup we beat Arsenal 1-0, of course. Now the Carabao Cup, be interesting to see where we got here. Watford beat us on penalties in the quarters. We were so close to winning like 5 trophies this season, which is crazy. Champions League, obviously we beat Milan 3-1. Come on then, the stats always the fun part. I love looking at these. So the only keeper out of play for us this season was Ferry, which is every single game, 66 games, 18 clean sheets. 14 in the Premier League is a lot better. That's kind of what I expect from him. Still such a young goalkeeper, to be fair. If I was to do even more seasons, I think I'd probably be fine with just sticking with him, in all honesty. Adaramola obviously got replaced by Chambers this season, but still played nearly half the games. Chambers, big difference from Jeff Day last season. He's got 1 goal, 4 assists. Seem to have done pretty well in the Champions League there with a goal and an assist. Love that. Adaramola getting appearances in the Champions League's massive as well. Tamori, massive help since he's joined this club. Brilliant player. I think if I was to do another season, he would be leaving. Obviously at the age of 34, it's probably best to ship these players off. Sibic did actually get the last few games at the club. He is retiring as, I would probably say, a Wigan legend. Got 4 games this season, 2 in the FA Cup, 2 in the Premier League. I actually kept a clean sheet in each of them there. With the average rating of 7+, it's actually not bad at all. I'm really pleased for him. I'm glad I kept him until the end. A lot of transfer extensions went into that player. Bremer, I would say maybe it's a bit of a overreactive signing. I maybe thought Bellerin and Costas weren't going to be good enough. And I was just like, just because we made it through the Champions League, I want someone with that experience. This guy's won 2 Champions Leagues already, and now he's just won a 3rd one with us. So I brought him in. Looking at that average rating, it doesn't seem like you've done too much, but maybe he was the difference maker in the end. Maybe we wouldn't have won all this stuff without Bremer. I don't know. Maybe it was a bit of a ridiculous signing, but for the price of like 30 million, I'm not too fussed. Bellerin's been good for her. Hughes actually had 11 games this season, which I'm quite surprised about considering you look at the back line. Costas would definitely be on his way out if I'd done another season. Nasiala still not getting played for, and neither did Fry. Wow, Reece James, what a season that is, son. Well in. People would argue he should be the captain of this team over Devine. I would. He was the second choice captain, definitely. I would somewhat agree, but yeah, 58 games, 11 goals, 18 assists, 19 goal contributions is crazy from a right back. I'm really pleased with that. I would imagine a lot of them goals were free kicks. I have got him on the free kicks, so maybe that is the case. But that's brilliant numbers. Cartwright actually getting a lot of game time there as well. I know Reece James did go down injured for a little bit, so that could be why. Mortal, big difference in the two DMs here, Machedo and Mortal. Mortal playing nearly every single game there, which is brilliant to see. A very good FA Cup run from him by the looks of it. 7 assists in the Premier League there. You got 2 goals in the Champions League. Very good signing in my opinion. Machado doesn't look too bad. He's still young as well, so a lot of time to build himself up, I would say. Brecken, another good season from him. Peters obviously had that long-term injury, so he didn't end up playing that much. Got a goal and assist in his time here, though. He's done it again. Is that more than last season? I think it may be. That might be record-breaking again. I don't know if that's more than last season. And I know it's more goals. Holy shit. 48 goals. The guy may genuinely win a Ballon d'Or. I can't believe that. Wow. 30 assists. 19 in the Premier League's not even beating De Bruyne's. I think De Bruyne got 20. Devine last season got 26 in the Prem. But I think it was like 28 in all comps. I think he may have broke his all competitions record. I'm not 100% sure there. But he only missed out on one game. And by the looks of that, it might have been a Carabao Cup game, I think. Yeah. I think it was a Carabao Cup game there. Well deserves the captain armband, I reckon. But 92 overall, that is mental. I didn't even know that was physically possible for a player like Devine. Cortez, I would imagine is going to be the top scorer. I'm so happy I signed this guy for the price that he cost. 14 goals in the Champions League. I just clocked onto that. Wow. 33 goals, 7 assists in all comps. Mental. What a baller. Didn't play as much as I would have thought of, though. I wonder what happened there. I don't think he was injured, so interesting. Very interesting there. And, well, Davey, there you go then. There's the answer. He played a lot of games. A lot of them coming off the bench. 11 goals, 9 assists, 76 overall. Crazy. We've got a good left wing on my hands there. Frost, what a season from him as well. Obviously, you saw him playing in the FA Cup and the Champions League there towards the end, and he was a very important player. Assisted in the FA Cup, and I think it was scored in the Champions League final. So yeah, brilliant from Frost. We've got 2 great future wingers on my hands there. Mancini, what, the numbers are just mind-boggling. I can't wrap my head around this. I really can't. 31 goals, 18 assists. I cannot wrap my head around these numbers. The fact that he's only 80 overall as well. The numbers are just mad. Great Champions League run from him as well. Cuba, worse than last season. But it obviously had that long-term injury, you've got to think. On top of that, Joseph has come in and played an absolute massive part in helping this team. Arguably, numbers-wise, a lot better, especially in a lot less games. What's that, like 13 or 17 less games or something like that? I think I've counted there. Wow, Kyle Joseph, what a career he's had with us. Joined us at like 22 or 23 years old and is now 30 years old. And still at this team. Him and Civic, 2 OGs. The only real OG is Civic. He was the only Wigan player that was left from starting. These 2 out on loan doing well, especially Parsons. He's went up 7 ratings out on loan. I think he may still have another. Yeah, honestly, these numbers, I just can't wrap my head around. But we've definitely got Ballon d'Or contenders here. I would say Mancini, Cortez and Devine. They have to be up there, especially after the trophies we've won. But my best bet would be with Devine. Them numbers, just wow. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is done. My 8 seasons as Wigan Athletic manager, done. It's took nearly the entirety of FC25 to get to this point. But I'm glad we've got to this point in the end. I'm really glad we got here, man. What an experience. 1 league title, 2 domestic cups. I believe they're the 2 FA Cups. And a Continental Cup, which is the Champions League. I'm really happy we got there. In the end. Biggest win was 9-1 against Huddersfield. I still remember it. We used to hammer Huddersfield every game. And now we're just miles clear above them. Biggest defeat, 5-0 against Liverpool. I do remember that. Is that our first season in the Premier League? It might be. Record transfer fee of 39.1 million. That is really not bad. That might be Martel. I believe that might be Martel from this season. That's a really good transfer fee, to be honest. Club total, 429 games managed, 220 wins, 76 draws, 133 losses. We have scored a staggering 847 goals and conceded 528. I just cannot wrap my head around it. I really cannot. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's helped out during this career mode. A massive thank you to Hugh. I know you've probably watched this entire thing, and I hope this has lived up to expectations. It's been a hyped up video. It's took me so long to process this. And I just cannot believe it's come to an end. I will miss this career mode. I get emotionally attached to career modes. I get emotionally attached to certain players. Divine will probably never perform like this ever again in a different career mode. I just cannot believe we got to this point. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to all of yous in the next one. Goodbye.